What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite blue guy here. Would you look at that? I'm finally making another Skyblock video. Everyone is doing whatever it is they do in Skyblock. Some of you may be busy in dungeons, some of you may be grinding away at those slayers, but have you ever wanted to be able to impress your friends with your extensive hidden Skyblock knowledge? Well, now you'll be able to, unless of course they also watch this, in which case they may figure you out, but the likelihood is favored towards the former, so what is there to lose? In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 50 Skyblock Weapon Facts that will blow your mind. Whether they're about simple weapons or the famous Hyperion, you're sure to be blown away by at least a few of them. Before the list begins, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be giving away 100 million Skyblock coins to a random subscriber a week from now, so make sure you don't potentially miss out. Also, I don't tend to advertise other videos of mine in videos, but this is a special occasion. I released the beginning of my Impractical Joker's punishment ranking series just the other day, and it's a video I put a lot of effort into. Seeing it not get the chance it deserves so far is really disheartening, so if you haven't checked out my nearly half-hour long season 1 Impractical Joker's punishment ranking video yet, you totally should. I believe it to be my best put together video yet. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. The Fancy Sword is unique in that because the enchantments it is purchased with cannot be removed, it is possible to have impossible combinations, such as First Strike and Triple Strike together, as well as Sharpness and Smite together. The aspect of the Jerry started as a joke created by Tommy Innit, which the developers then added into the game. For a short time, the aspect of the Jerry became one of the best weapons in the game. There was a reforge called the Jerry Reforge, giving the AOTJ the ability to convert all intelligence to damage. The devs, however, made it so that the damage was added before the multiplier so people could enter a dungeon with Storm's armor, use the ability, then switch to a Tuck set dealing hundreds of millions of damage. This bug was patched the same day the Jerry Reforge was released. YouTuber Palika was able to do 1 billion damage with the bugged Jerry Reforge. Applying a wood singularity onto an aspect of the Jerry will give the player the achievement. Seriously? The ultimate enchantment, Ultimate Jerry 5, says it increases the base damage of the aspect of the Jerry by 5,000%, but this number is actually closer to around 4,900%. The Silver Fang is the only stackable weapon in the game. The upgrades on each Silver Fang must be exactly the same for them to stack. The Silver Fang is also the only non-vanilla weapon that is used in a minion recipe, specifically gas minions. Get ready, because a lot of items in Skyblock reference or pay tribute to other Hypixel game modes. The Pigman Sword is a reference to the Pigman class from the Mega Walls game mode on Hypixel, which has an ability of the same name. However, in Mega Walls, the ability grants strength instead of defense. If one were to put all 19,200 stacks of pork chops necessary to make the Pigman Sword in double chests, it would take 712 double chests to store all of the pork chops needed, or 4 large and 1 single chest of enchanted pork chops. All of the pork chops needed to craft the sword will give the player approximately farming level 19 if they were to start from 0. The name Hyperion is likely a reference to the Greek titan Hyperion, the titan of the sun in Greek mythology. The maximum damage bonus an Emerald Blade can safely have is 999.9, which takes 25,594,000,000 coins to achieve. It is possible to surpass this bonus, but it will result in glitchy behavior such as immobilizing the player and showing sharp GUIs wrongly. Upon switching lobbies, the Emerald Blades will likely be deleted. The ability of the Silent Death is the same as the Enderman class's skill from Mega Walls, although it shares the name of Assassin's first passive. The difference is that Assassin's ability is activated when hit rather than on demand. The Zombie Sword is yet another one of several direct references to Mega Walls. In Mega Walls, the Zombie class has a right-click ability that heals itself for a certain amount of HP, hence the Zombie Sword's similar functionality. The Dreadlord Sword's ability is based on the Dreadlord class in, you guessed it, Mega Walls. However, in Mega Walls, 3 skulls are fired at a time instead of just 1. Using the Dreadlord Sword's ability will slow you to sneaking speed, except in versions 1.9 and above. The minimum price required to gain the maximum stat buff for a Midas Sword is 50,040,000 coins. There are a few Midas Swords with price paid values not possible through the Dark Auction, these being 50 million coins, 1 coin, and 49,999,999 coins. The original purchaser for the most expensive Midas Sword was banned shortly after because the coins used to buy it were boosted. The most legitimately obtained coins paid for a Midas Sword was 2,146,000,000 by 256 MS. The Midas Sword is a reference to King Midas, a figure from Greek mythology. He was granted one wish, and he chose to turn everything he touched into gold. When he killed his daughter by turning her into gold, he realized he had been blinded by greed, which this sword's ability references. The Midas Staff and King Midas mini-boss also reference him. The Yeti Sword requires the largest quantity of a single item to craft, 9,830,400 ice. The Spirit Scepter resembles the Bat Scepter from Terraria. Both shoot bats that drain mana to use. However, the Bat Scepter automatically homes in on enemies, unlike the Spirit Scepter. If an enemy is killed with the Ice Spray Wand's ability and the weapon is enchanted with telekinesis, its drops do not immediately appear in the inventory. This can be resolved by waiting a moment or opening an interface like the Skyblock menu. The Super Cleaver is a rare dungeon sword that can be purchased from Ophelia for 80,000 coins. There is also an item ability, Cleave, from the game's League of Legends, which has the same name and similar effect as this item. It would make sense since the owner of the network himself has admitted to being a big League of Legends fan. Interestingly, Unstable Dragon Armor's full set bonus, which summons lightning to deal damage to mobs, does count as a kill on the Raider axe if the axe is being held during the lightning strike. The Golem Sword is another sword that is directly related to Mega Walls. The ability of the Golem class in Mega Walls is the same as the item ability of the Golem Sword in Skyblock. The Golem Sword is also one of the only swords that provide defense, with the others being the Necromancer's Sword, Earth Shard, and Astrea. The Frozen Scythe's ability comes from the Snowman's skill in Mega Walls, Ice Bolt. The End Sword was once listed as rare, but this was a mistake and was changed in December of 2019. The rare End Sword is now a blacklisted item. The 4 refined Necron's blades, Hyperion, Skyla, Valkyrie, and Astrea all have Norse or Greek names from mythology. The Valkyrie is a reference to Old Norse mythology, meaning chooser of the slain. Valkyries are warrior maidens under the service of the All-Father god Odin, who would bring half of the fallen heroes in battle chosen personally by Odin to Valhalla, Odin's castle located in Asgard, the realm of the gods. There, they could live an afterlife of luxury as Einherjars, meaning once fighters in preparation to serve as Odin's forces against the Ragnarok, the great war that would bring forth the end of the world. The Valkyrie is the only refined Necron's blade to have a Norse name instead of a Greek name, like the other blades. The ability of the Endstone Sword is often used to fight the Voidgloom Seraph, especially in higher tiers. This is due to the fact that when this ability consumes 500 mana, it allows the user to be completely immune to most forms of damage for a short period of time. The Endstone Sword ability was once used to effectively skip the Terracotta phase in Floor 6. As the ability no longer works in dungeons, this no longer works. The 100% damage cap is not reflected in the Endstone Sword's ability message. When the ability is used with 500 or more mana, it'll show us having a higher than 100% damage bonus, but it will still only be 100% in effect. The Leaping Sword is, yet again, directly related to Mega Walls. The Leaping Sword's ability is the same as the class of Spider in Mega Walls. In Floor 5 of Dungeons, players were able to abuse the Livid boss fight by spamming the Leaping Sword's ability to stun him from cloning himself, allowing the real Livid to be revealed and to be killed a lot easier. However, this was a glitch and was patched on the release of Floor 6. During the Trial of Fire, the Creeper Veil ability from the Withercloak Sword will trigger as long as the player's maximum health is above that of a single fire tick, preventing all damage. If the player has higher than 35,280 HP and enough mana to survive the ticks, level 30 can in fact be completed. The Creeper Veil ability is also able to nullify the damage from the Yangglyphs in the Voidgloom Seraph boss fight, making it possible to semi-AFK these bosses in combination with a Necromancy weapon. The Jerry Sheen Gun is the only item in the game which requires 0 essence to convert to a dungeon item. The Fel Sword is one of 6 items that take the form of a stone sword, the other 5 being the Adaptive Blade, the Earth Shard, Conjuring, the Withercloak Sword, and the Vanilla Stone Sword. Conjuring was added when Dungeons was released, but it wasn't obtainable up until the 0.11.2 update. When maxed out, the Recluse Fang has the highest strength boost of any sword in the game. If you manage to max out your Recluse Fang, a special message will appear in chat. It will say, "Wow, you maxed out your Recluse Fang. The next time there's a spider in your house, we hope you won't be scared to squash it." Kind of aggressive there, I must admit. Despite the recipe being locked behind Enderman Slayer level 6, the aspect of the Void can in fact be used before the player unlocks the recipe. This means that there are 0 requirements to use it. 1.8.9 players can hold right click on the aspect of the Void and still teleport. This means that you don't have to spam right click to teleport and makes it far more efficient than an aspect of the End. The name Aspect of the Dragon may be a reference to the buff from League of Legends, also called Aspect of the Dragon. Aspect of the Dragons is also in fact a reference to the Dragon Sword in another Hypixel game mode, UHC Champions. The Lost Adventurer mini-boss in the Catacombs attacks with an Aspect of the Dragon and occasionally uses the Dragon Rage ability, although in chat it is displayed as Dragon's Breath. And with that, you have 50 Skyblock Weapons facts that hopefully blew your mind. I do hope you guys learned a thing or two. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Download my texture pack, link is in the description. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him inside and outside.